Elliot Anderson. Right now he's at Nottingham Forest, but his name is starting to pop up in every conversation about the best young midfielders in England. The question is simple. Would he be worth £60 million price tag if Man United decide to move for him? And more importantly, would he actually improve United under Ruben Amorim? That's what we're diving into today. We'll look at his strengths, his flaws, how he'd fit into Amorim's tactical setup, the kind of fee Forest will demand, and how he stacks up against Mainoo, Bruno and Ugarte. Let's break it all down. What makes Anderson stand out? First, his ability to progress the ball. He's brilliant at slipping passes through tight spaces, the kind that open up defenses and get attackers turning. He disguises his passes really well too, shaping one way then cutting through another, which constantly keeps opposition midfields guessing. Second, he's got genuine press resistance. He doesn't panic when a man's tight on him. Instead, he'll drop a shoulder, spin out, and suddenly United are on the move. That calmness is something United's midfield has been crying out for. Athletically, he's impressive, strong in duels, quick across the ground, and capable of powering through tackles. Think Gerrard-like bursts, mixed with a modern midfielder's mobility. Defensively, he's no lightweight either. He presses aggressively, wins the ball back up higher, and isn't afraid to put in a challenge. His aerial stats are actually excellent too. He wins more headers than you'd expect from someone in his position. So overall, we're looking at a midfielder who can pass, press, defend, and carry, a rare all-round profile. But of course, Anderson's still developing. He's not a heavy ball carrier. He can dribble, sure, but he doesn't constantly drive forward with it like Frankie de Jong or even Kovacic. At times, he plays safe instead of breaking lines with a carry. His long passing is also inconsistent. The vision is there, the technique is there, but the execution doesn't always match up. He'll overhit a switch or misjudge the weight. That's something that can be ironed out, but it's noticeable. Another thing, his pass completion rate isn't elite. He loses the ball more than you'd like, partly because he takes risks, partly because he's still learning when to play the percentages. And in the final third, he hasn't put up big numbers yet. The shooting technique is clean and he has the ability to arrive late into the box, but so far the goals and assists haven't been there consistently. So yes, the raw talent is obvious, but there's still plenty of polish needed. So, how does all this translate into Amorim's football? Amorim usually plays with a 3-4-3 and a double pivot is absolutely crucial. His midfielders need to cover ground, protect the back three, progress the ball and help press high. Basically, they have to be complete players. Anderson ticks a lot of those boxes. His energy, his willingness to press and his ability to play forward quickly would suit the role perfectly. He's adaptable too. He can sit deeper alongside Mainoo and help with build-up, or he can push on a bit more, almost like a box-to-box role. The defensive intensity he brings is a huge bonus. Amorim's system relies on players shuffling across and plugging gaps in transitions, and Anderson has the engine to do exactly that. Picture this, a pivot of Mainoo and Anderson. Mainoo brings the calmness and tempo setting, Anderson adds drive and physicality. Suddenly, United's midfield looks balanced in a way it hasn't in years. Now let's talk money. Right now, Anderson's probably a £40 to £45 million player in terms of pure value, but Forest are in no rush to sell, and with another strong season in the Premier League, that price will climb quickly. Next summer, you're looking at £60 million minimum. It sounds like a lot, but when you factor in his age, his homegrown status and his potential ceiling, it makes sense. In 2 years' time, if he keeps progressing, that £60 million price tag could easily look cheap in comparison to what top midfielders are going for. For United, it comes down to timing. Do you gamble now before his price goes through the roof, or wait and risk him being out of reach? Let's see how he stacks up against what United already have. Kobbie Mainoo. Mainoo is calm, measured, and always in control. He doesn't force things. He dictates tempo. Anderson's more aggressive, quicker, more direct, and more physical. Together, they'd complement each other perfectly. Bruno Fernandes. Bruno is all creativity and chaos. He can unlock a defense with one pass, but he leaves gaps behind him. Anderson won't replace that creativity, but he offers the work rate and defensive balance that would allow Bruno more freedom. Manuel Ugarte. Ugarte, if United, could develop him better, is the destroyer. He lives for tackles, duels, and breaking up play. Anderson isn't as single-mindedly defensive, but he brings possession or progression that Ugarte doesn't. If you had both, suddenly you've got steel and smarts in midfield. So really Anderson doesn't duplicate what United already have. He fills gaps. That's what makes him so attractive as a signing. So what's the verdict? Anderson isn't flawless. He needs to improve his long passing, polish his decision making, and add more output in the final third. But the raw package, progressive passing, press resistance, defensive bite, aerial strength and athleticism is incredibly hard to find. And in Amorim's system, he looks almost tailor-made. He complements Mainoo, balances Bruno, and adds qualities that Ugarte doesn't bring on his own. Is 60 million steep? Yes, but it could end up looking like a bargain if he fulfills his potential. Absolutely. But what do you think? Should United push for Anderson next summer, or would you rather see that money spent elsewhere?